It's kind of hard to see a grown man on the ground writhing in pain and grabbing at his chest, and it kind of puts it's a reality check, a very quick reality check, and one that I wasn't expecting to have at such a young age.
I had finished eating and was taking my dishes back to the kitchen, and I collapsed. I had bad chest pains and just went down.
I thought that he was having a heart attack at the time, but eventually we found out that we had a genetic, or he had a genetic disease called Loeys-Dietz syndrome. They had me and my sisters tested.
We asked all three of them to go with us to see Dr. Moran and Christina, the genetic counselor and the geneticist.
And I was the only one of the three that had the disease. So they told me about the disease and explained it to me, and from there we found out that I had an aneurysm on the root of my heart.
When I was 27, I went to this doctor because I was having chest pains and stuff, and he sent me for x-rays and had me come back to his office after he got the x-rays. And he says, well, you have an enlarged aorta. And I says, well, what's that mean? And he goes, don't worry about it till you got older. Thinking back on it, I should have probably followed up with it back then, but you know, I was young, naive, and the doctor told me not to worry about it, so I didn't. My grandfather, he had a heart attack. He died from a heart attack, and he was 80-some too. My dad, he had an aneurysm. He had a dissection, and he was 82, I believe, when it happened. I do have other aunts and uncles and cousins and stuff that have had abdominal aneurysms in their legs, and we've tried to get them to be tested, but it's their decision on being tested. If they do have the gene, or if they do have a problem, they need to know before it happens.
My impression was that I would be my dad's age, or old, or you know, not a kid when this was going on. I was only 17 years old when I had found out, and I said, this isn't a normal kid thing to do.
I can't do everything I used to do, but I can still do some things that I did and I enjoyed doing. My son has restrictions, and he has to just learn to live with his restrictions. I
have a very strong faith, and I decided, you know, the Lord works in mysterious ways. He does stuff for a reason, and that if this is what my journey was, that I would have to just, you know, succumb to it and go through with it.
Life is nature, right? Life is something you gotta live with, and you can't control it. It just happens. I was glad to see all three of my children have the test done so that they knew whether or not they did have it.
If I could go back, I would have taken advantage of every single day. Played outside, rode a bike, ran, played football. I would have played every sport. My dad was able to live, you know, 45 to 50 years of his life without worrying and living a normal life, and I only got 14. Out of 10 bad things, one good thing can come out of it, and I try to make the best of every situation. So I'd have to say, just have good faith and show the people around you that you love them and don't take life for granted.